Welcome to Ascending with Venus Castleberg, a space where we explore the journey of spiritual awakening, expanding your consciousness and raising your frequency to create a whole new world. We'll dive into the possibilities that open up when you choose to follow the whispers and trust your inner knowing. Each episode is designed to guide you in expanding your awareness, tuning into your intuition, and discovering the magic of your life every day. We'll talk about living aligned with your soul's purpose, going beyond limitations, and creating a life and a world worth celebrating. You are here to embrace who you truly are and step into the infinite potential that's waiting for you. Let's ascend together. And now, here is your host, Venus Castleberg.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. So nice to be here with you again. I'm so grateful. Hi, Kimberly. Yes, if you're here, please say hello, drop a hello in comments. I always like to know that there's people out there that I'm talking to. So, the God within, are you willing to trust yourself that much? I don't know about you, but I grew up loosely religious. Hi, Simon. Welcome. Meaning, I went to Bible camp when I was a kid. Hi, Bob. Welcome. And I occasionally went to church. I go through spurts. My mom was really great in that. And she just said, whatever you want to choose is up to you. So she didn't have a lot of pressure, because she was pressured as a kid. Like, her mom was very Catholic, and so she had to go to church. And so when I came around, she's like, if you want to. And so I'd go for a little while, and then I'd be like, oh, good job, Simon. That's so exciting. Hi, Paula. Welcome. But yeah, having religion. And I'm just going to start this conversation today by telling you that's not what this is. So I'm not here to convince you of my religious point of view. I don't really have one, but I'm not here to change yours either, right? So whatever you believe, I completely honor that, and I'm grateful for that, and you stick with that. I'm just here to share a little bit of a different perspective. And I'm sure, if you're listening to this, you've at least heard me say that we're all one, right? Well, and I've also said, but maybe you haven't heard me, we're also all God. And some people go, well, how can we all be God? Well, think of it this way. What if God was a body, and we, each one of us, was this little cell, and we all have different jobs, right? So some of us are bone cells, and some of us are stomach cells, and some of us are white cells, right? But some of us are hair cells. So I love that idea, Simon. Thank you. So God is a body, and we're all little cells doing our little job in this body of God. But we're all God. Like a cell, yes, you can identify a cell as a cell, but the cell is part of the body of your body, right? Of the physical body. You have that knowing that a cell, if you were to pull a cell out of your body, you'd be like, okay, yeah, there's a cell, but that cell came from this body. It's still part of this body, even if it's just a cell, right? So we're all cells. We're all in this body of God. We all are part of God. We all have that spark of God inside of us. Every cell of the body has an atom, right? And I always love it when I talk about stuff like this, like when it's confirmation, I get those little God bumps and goosebumps. So we're all this body of God. We're all experiencing God in a different way, but we have the spark. We have the atom inside of us. We have that God spark. And so if you were to look at yourself as God, do you think that you have, I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers today, but hey, I'm game. Roll with me. So do you think that if you were the spark of God, would there actually be a right or wrong, good or bad? No, I'm not talking about like, well, think about it this way. So have you ever in your life made a choice that you were like, yeah, maybe that wasn't my best choice? I have. Right? Maybe that wasn't my best choice. Maybe I shouldn't have slept with that person. Maybe I shouldn't have, done that. That wasn't very nice, right? But every choice that you made that maybe wasn't your best choice, you learned something. And I talk about this a lot, right? Like the gap in the gain, right? Like looking at everything as there's a gain here. You learned something. You're like, yeah, maybe don't drink that much alcohol and go home with the next person that you see. Or maybe, you do something not nice. I did have this experience. I love that I get to tell you guys like all my, like, I wasn't that great of a person always. So I actually got so drunk. This was actually the only time in my life that I remember drinking so much that I blacked, like meaning I don't remember anything. I didn't pass out, but I don't remember anything. And turns out I said some really not nice things to my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend that we ran into. And the next day he's like, did you know that you said this? And I was like, no. No memory of it. No, like talk about, I probably wasn't in the building and some other being came into my body. Yeah. Yes, we can. So, but I'll be honest, I never drank so much that I was not cognitive after that. Like that, like having like a memory where I didn't have a memory did not work for me. So I never drank to black out again after that. So I learned something, right? I was like, wow, I really don't like the fact that I don't remember saying that. And that's not really a normal thing for me to say. Like I am actually a very nice person. But ugliness can come out sometimes. Doesn't mean I'm not exempt from it, trust me. But I chose something different because I learned from that. So if you were to look at yourself as God, would you judge your choices? Like, and again, I'm not here to change religion on you, but I'm going to tell you what I came up with. Like, I actually learned, like, for me, I stopped choosing religion when it wasn't congruent for me. Like, how can you talk about an unconditionally loving God and then tell me he's up there judging me and passing judgment and telling me that I'm going to hell? And again, if you believe that, cool, great, go for it. For me, it was incongruent. So then I stopped choosing religion and I found spirituality and I found my own connection with source and I found my own connection with the earth, which to me is also God, right? Because it's all part of God. That's how everything is all one and we're all part of God. So I found myself in this like space of being like, okay, religion doesn't really work for me, but I'm going to choose something different here. And when you kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. But believing, right, that you, the God that you are, doesn't judge you. So I'm going to tell you a little secret. The negative voice in your head telling you you're wrong or bad or you shouldn't have done that or The judgment voice is not you. It's also like you, the being that you truly are, would never judge yourself. Right? So I always love it when I know that I'm pushing buttons. I'm like, okay, let's go for it. Again, if this doesn't resonate for you, throw it away. Hang up. Don't watch. But I've just come to find for myself that the God within me, which is also the God that is within everyone and all around, right? The body of God, what I talked about at the beginning of the show, is all one. We are all one. There is only one God because we're all part of the same thing, right? But if we were to look at ourselves as the God within, as the divine within, maybe I won't use that word because I know that even just the word triggers people. But if you can believe in the divine within you, would you actually judge you? Would you make yourself wrong? Or would you just be like, oh, that was an interesting choice. Maybe I should choose somebody else. Maybe I should choose something else, right? It didn't really work out that well. So I want to just start there because I know that a lot of us, most of us, are in constant state of judgment, comparison, making ourselves wrong from everything. And if you really start to get that you are the divine within, and it's within you, that spark is within you, then would you trust yourself more? Would you believe in yourself some more? I've had some really big shifts and changes for myself. And I'm somebody who likes change and I change a lot, but I'm like even changing direction of my business and stuff. But in my heart, I know I'm a good person. I know that I'm the divine. And that if there was no judgment and there was no right or wrong, right or wrong path for you to choose, what would you choose? Like, what if there isn't a right path and a wrong path? There are just multiple paths and you can just choose whatever path you want and they're all going to get you to where you want to go. All of them will get you to where you want to go. I'll say that again. All of them will get you to where you want to go. So if you can trust yourself and trust that whatever you're choosing, you'll choose it until you don't want to choose it anymore. You'll choose it until it doesn't work anymore. But trust in yourself, knowing that you are the divine, knowing that where you're headed is where you want to go. I say this often, and I know some people ruffle at it as well, but I just truly believe it. Now, I'm not trying to convince you of what I believe. I'm just sharing what I believe, and if it resonates, cool, and if not, throw it away. But I truly believe that the universe conspires for you and never against you. Even the crappy times. And guys, I've shared some of it. I have had some horrible things happen in my life. I've had rape, I've had abuse, I've had alcoholism and drug addiction. I've had a lot of different crappy things. People died, lost people. I've had that stuff. But I know that all worked out for me and not against me. It wasn't fun in the moment. And man, did it take me some time to get over some stuff? Absolutely. I'm not saying that you can instantly be like, and some people can, but you can't instantly sometimes be like, okay, that was interesting and everything's good. Maybe you still have some sadness and some grief. Maybe you still have, we talked about that last week, like letting yourself grieve endings, but also let yourself grieve when something crappy happens. Just be like, okay, that sucked, but this is actually working out for me, right? Years ago, I got married when I was 19 and I got divorced when I was 21. And I, I was getting a divorce, and we had borrowed some money from his grandmother to buy a Camaro. He wanted a Camaro. So we bought a car, we got a divorce. I'm driving the car around, and guess what I promptly do? I rear end somebody, not once, but twice. The first rear end didn't cause any damage. The second rear end ripped the front of the car off. Why do I share this with you? Well, one, I learned a lot about, being more present while driving and not in your head. Like actually paying attention to the surroundings around you. But looking back, I can go, wow, I would have been beholden to his grandmother to pay his grandmother back for that car. So while I wrecked it, I promptly got it fixed. And then as soon as it was fixed, I gave it back to him. And I'm like, this is your car, and it's between you and your grandmother. And I was like, wow, I'm so grateful that happened, because at the time I was moving, I had no money and I was moving across the country. And so having that sort of debt over me wouldn't have actually worked. But again, sometimes it's years later that you're like, oh, I guess that really did work out in my favor. Or I really, did. Dr. Dane here talks about, he was also, beaten and molested, or beaten. Was he molested? Maybe, I can't remember. But he was actually abused as a child. And one of the questions that was asked of him was like, did you stop the chain of abuse? And I know that happened for me too. Like, there were people that abused me that never abused somebody else, right? Because they learned. And some of them ended up in not great situations. So, but more than this, more than just looking at your past and being like, okay, the universe is conspiring for me, I want to really bring this to moving forward. So the choices that you're making today are what are going to impact your tomorrow. So things that are happening maybe right now that aren't that great, that are happening right now, are based on choices you made in the past, that they're creating your reality now. What's cool is that once you get that, you can also be like, okay, so then what choices I make today are going to create my future, right? The choices that I make today are going to create what I'm asking for. Not from, again, there's a right or wrong, good or bad, but from okay, what do I want to choose? What sort of a life do I desire to have? And then are you willing to trust the whispers, to trust your knowing, and to choose anyway, even if nobody else does and nobody else goes with you? This is a big one for me. I love everybody and I want everybody to come along with me. But I know where I'm going now, there's going to be people that don't go with me. And that's okay, right? Because I'm trusting myself in my choices and the future that I desire. And I want you to do the same for you. What can you choose? What can you create? What can you ask for today that will start to bring that to fruition? Maybe tomorrow, maybe, I don't know about you, but sometimes I ask for something just offhanded in my head, and 3 hours later somebody's offering me like an ice cream, and I was just thinking about ice cream. So I have that. You have that too, even if you haven't acknowledged it. And the more you acknowledge that power and that ability to manifest things out of thin air, the quicker it will happen. And the greater they get too. Like acknowledgement really grows. Like gratitude grows, acknowledgement grows. Things grow when you acknowledge them. Be like, hey, I asked for that. This was cool. Joseph, my husband, has a couple of daughters. They're not my biological daughters, but the youngest was still at home when he and I got together a couple years, just for her last couple years in high school. And she's a violinist. And we were at one of her concerts, and they were doing a raffle for this violin, and she said she wanted it, and I was like, okay, cool, let's buy a ticket. And I'm like, and that's yours. And she won it. And I just knew. I knew instantly she was going to get that violin, right? So you have that magic, you have that spark of creation, that ability to create something. So ask for it. Maybe write it down. But what I've struggled with, and maybe you struggle with too, is just the desire that you want to take everybody with you. And that you're like, I really hope everybody goes with me on this next adventure and wants to, be a part of it. Some will, some won't, so what? This is your life. You are the divine incarnate. Do you get to choose what you want your life to look like, what you want it to be like, what you want to experience, how much fun you want to have, how much joy you want to have, how much struggle you want to have? Struggle isn't wrong. It's not bad, but you can choose something different. You can create something different. Remember, what you're experiencing right now, if you're experiencing struggle, is based on choices you made in your past about struggle. Like maybe some struggle is real, or you're supposed to work hard for every dollar, or like whatever we have told ourselves in the past, right? Like it's always going to be hard. Be careful of your power. You're too powerful. You could destroy everything. Whatever you tell yourself. That was one I told myself. It was like too much power and you're going to destroy everything. And I actually trust myself enough to know that that's not the case. I wouldn't destroy everything because I actually care too much. I know that about myself, right? What do you know about yourself? What do you know that is innately you that you can trust? Maybe it's that you're kind. Maybe it's that you care. Maybe it's that you're going to help people who are in need. Maybe you have that pull. Maybe you're somebody who wants to volunteer, right? But whatever it is, if you want a jet and $1 billion and awesome, go for it. Because I don't believe any of your asks or your choice or your desires are bad or wrong, or you shouldn't ask for them. I think you should have a life and living that you really, truly desire to live. And that's fun for you. Like Simon said, he saw me in New York on a shopping spree. And I was like, awesome, I'll have that. And I'm not a big shopper, but hey, I think that sounds fun, right? I'm like, I'd love to do that. I did that once, kind of like that. My dad had died, and my mom and I went shopping at Macy's in New York, and then we went to the opera. And my dad loved the opera, so we went in his memory. So that was cool. That was a very, very long time ago, like 35 years ago. Seems so long ago. But yeah, me too. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust what you truly desire to create, and that you can create it and you can choose it and you can have it, and that it's okay if you leave some people behind and you go there anyway. What do you know? What do you really know about yourself and your desires and your asks? And ask for it. Write it down. I highly recommend writing stuff down. I can't tell you how many things I've actualized just because I wrote them down, right? I might have told the story before, but it's so good. I had gotten out of, I had broken my arm. I told you guys about that. Like kind of the end of my party days, it broke my arm, and that was my wake-up call. But then I wasn't really able to do massage as a job at that moment with a broken arm. So I went to bartending again. And I forget why I was telling you this story. There's a point. Maybe it'll come back. I've been having this more and more lately. I think when you're really truly in the present moment, like the plans go away. The focus, it's almost like you're really present. There's not like this, like I can plan what I'm gonna say energy. I don't know if you ever notice that. I don't know why I'm saying this, but it might contribute to somebody. Is that if you're ever talking to somebody or they're talking to you and you're in your mind, like planning out what you're going to say back to them before they're even done, you're not actually being present with them and what they're saying, because you're planning what you're going to say. So I'm noticing more and more lately is that, is that I just don't have the same, like, I can't plan what I'm going to say. Like I just say what's there and what's present. And so there's not really a formula that I follow for these, but I trust that you guys are getting something out of it. But again, that's that trust. It's like, I know a lot. I've studied a lot. I've done a lot, right? And that's not from ego. That's just from just an acknowledgement. Like, hey, yeah, I've studied 25 different modalities over 25 years. Like I might know some stuff, right? And then just trusting that, like whatever is popping, I'll come up with like kind of a topic and kind of a, like an idea for what I want to talk about. But really that idea is just a spark that then when I come here with you, I'm just present with you, and whatever's coming up is what comes, because I know that whoever I'm talking to, whoever's listening now or in the future, this is a contribution to someone in some way, right? And because that's also my target. That's also my heart. I desire to contribute and be a contribution. So I just really wanted to invite you to trust yourself more, to, be that God within, and allow yourself to maybe make choices that take you in a different direction. And if you leave some people behind, it's not that you don't care about them anymore. It's just that that's just not your path anymore. It's not where you're choosing to go. Because I don't believe that necessarily like there's a path that you have to, like that's what stuck me for a very long time, was that there's a path I have to find, and I have to find the right path, and I have to avoid the wrong path. And if I miss the wrong path, then I might end up somewhere I don't want to be, like hell and like all those fun things. So just choose. And then if you don't like the path or don't like the direction, choose again. You're not wrong if you change your mind. All right. Well, I absolutely adore you all. We'll take a quick break and be right back for our meditation today.
Om Times TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself. Invest in your brand and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. Om Times Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, Om Times offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an Om Times magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on Om Times TV and broadcasting it across the extensive Om Times radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. Om Times. Open yourself to the possibilities.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome forward. We are here now based on a choice we made 2 minutes ago. Am I going to come back after the break or not? I will say this, when I'm in alignment with myself, when I am in alignment with what's true for me and I'm trusting myself, I have a lot more ease and joy. I laugh at myself a lot more. I just have a lot more ease with what's going on in the world and a lot more ease with just day-to-day stuff, right? Day-to-day stuff still happens, but it's what you do with the day-to-day stuff that actually matters. Like, do you make it mean something bad and wrong about yourself? Do you go into judgment, or are you grateful for what it's teaching you? What is it showing you? So I know I've mentioned it before, but I always believe in there's lots of great books out there. Being You, Changing the World by Dr. Dane here. Complete game changer. Highly recommend that one. And The Gap in the Game. So if you're somebody who tends to focus on what you've lost or what's wrong or bad, or, you have that tendency to focus on that sort of stuff, The Gap in the Game book might be really good for you. So third eye, throat chakra makes violent. Cool. Awesome. Well, I would love to guide you through a guided visualization on reconnecting to the God within today. So finding a comfortable seat, allowing yourself to be present. If you're driving, save this for later. It'll be here. We always post the recordings at the top of the Facebook group, and it's on YouTube as well. So check us out. And as you slowly and gently close your eyes, if you're not driving, allow yourself to lower your walls and barriers at the same time. Lower your walls and barriers, even the ones you don't know about. And relax. Maybe allow your head and neck to just wobble a little. Just relax the neck. Not, hanging down, but just allow yourself to just become aware of this head that sits on top of a spine that is fluid and mobile. exhale out. Breathe in and exhale out. And allow yourself to just sink into your body. Allow yourself to float down from your mind. So anywhere where you're having thoughts about this or that, just allow those thoughts to float by like clouds in the big blue sky of your mind. And allow yourself to arrive in your body, including your body in your being. Remember, we're not trying to stuff the being in the body. But there is a beautiful trinity here, the mind, the body, and the soul. This coexistence that goes on all the time. This symbiotic relationship between the mind, the body, and the soul. The mind might be good at figuring out problems and solving riddles, and the body, the beautiful sensory organ that it is, where you get to feel and taste and touch and hear and see. And then the soul or the spirit or the divine spark that is within you. Has such a broader perspective than the day-to-day that we often find ourselves in. Just allowing her to, or him, to be aware of everything and everyone. Expand your awareness. And if you feel yourself going into contraction or resistance, lower your walls and barriers even more. And invite yourself to become aware of maybe a spiritual guide or team member, or maybe multiples, or a guardian angel, or an animal spirit guide. Just allowing that spirit guide, that being, to step forward and take your hand. If it's an animal, then maybe the animal rests on your arm, or you rest your hand on their back. They're going to take you on an adventure, on a journey to experience, receive, and be the God within. And you find yourself at the top of a very long spiral staircase. And you slowly just begin to descend down this spiral staircase with each step, relaxing deeper. And as you relax and descend and step down, you become aware that you're actually entering into the chamber, a chamber of your heart. And when you reach this beautiful space, just observe. What does it see? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you know? Maybe there's no seeing, and that's okay. Maybe you just have this feeling of this fluffy energy all around you, like a big chamber full of feathers. Just allowing yourself to observe and to know what you know about you. And also in the room, you are aware of another energy. It's not really separate from you, but it's different. And this is the God within you, the goddess within you, the spark, the divine luster, Tejaze. And as you get closer to this energy, you just become aware. Does it have a form? Or is it just energy or just light? Feel the unconditional love radiating from this divinity. The one that sees all, knows all, and judges nothing. And relax and breathe. And allow yourself to just feel enveloped by this energy of unconditional love. And notice as you have this unconditional love touching every fiber of your being, just notice how the things that maybe were sticking you or not contributing to you, or even heaviness or judgment from the past, just allow that to be melted away by this unconditional love that is always here for you. That's why it's unconditional. There is no condition. There is no right or wrong choice. There is nothing that you can do to take away this unconditional love. Nothing. 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 Allow that to soak in. Allow yourself to melt. To become a puddle. are in the chamber of your heart. The absence of judgment and comparison and right and wrong and good and bad. And just be. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to figure out, right or wrong, good or bad. Just be and receive and know. Know who you are. Trust why you're here. Trust what you're choosing. And trust that you can choose something else if you don't like it. And just bask in this beautiful unconditional love energy as it flows through you and around you and allows you to just be. There's nothing to prove. You don't have to earn your way or your right to be in this unconditional love. It is unconditional and it is here for you always and forever. There's no separation. There is no, it's over there and I'm over here. It's in you. It lives in you. You can only express or acknowledge or appreciate something that lives in you. So when you look at somebody that has unconditional love, an absence of judgment, that's because that lives in you. And sure, the opposite can be true as well. But right now, we're focusing on God's spark, divine within, the unconditional love that you actually have for you, even if you can't always feel it or see it. Breathe that in. Let yourself be with that energy. Agenda or need to be somewhere else. Just let that melt away. Anything as you say, I should be somewhere else right now. Or as you do busy work right now. Just let it go. It'll be there when you're done. And be here with yourself, with the divine being that you truly are, that can do no wrong. And cannot make her wrong choice, but also subsequently cannot make a right choice. There's just choice. And choose again. And choose again. And as you spend some time with this divine spark that lives within you, ask the spark, ask this energy, this part of you, what do you want me to remember? Acknowledge that you heard that and you received it and you're grateful for it. Maybe ask that divine spark, what is the next level of trust asking of me? Or where can I trust myself more? And let that soak in. And then asking that divine energy, what do I no longer need to carry? Or what can I let go of today? Maybe you're carrying some burdens that are not even yours to carry. Many of us carry the burdens of our parents, not ours to carry. Their burdens are theirs to carry. Or the burdens of our children, not ours to carry. It's theirs to carry. And I'm not saying don't care about them and don't contribute to them when you desire to. You don't have to. I get to, or I could, or I'd like to. Just allowing yourself to lay down any burdens that you're carrying that are not yours to carry. Really see yourself breathing that divine energy in. Let it touch every fiber and every cell and every atom of your entire body and being. Let that divine luster shine out, reaching and touching far reaches of the universe. Notice how your divine luster and divine energy touches other divine energies that are doing the same right now. Exhale. Anchor it into yourself by saying, I trust the God within me. I am guided and I am ready. Becoming aware of your physical body. Maybe rubbing your hands on your thighs. And slowly begin to stretch. Maybe sit up a little taller. Relax. Slowly open your eyes. coming forward. This moment, remembering everything, the divine within you, the divine all around you. And I will leave you with this question. Where in your life are you ready to lead with that much trust? With that knowing that that awareness and that divine spark lives in you and is with you every step of the way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I adore you all so much. Have a magical week. See you next week. Bye.